welcome to another session of Emotional Café. This week we have healthy dependencies. Like every week, Xiomara Mayo Ingram here helping you and assisting you and bringing a topic that I think it might be of great help, not only for you. I was just saying before, these are the kind of sessions that I do, just sharing how I feel about specific topics, how I have managed them, how I have had to deal with my own issues, and I bring them and share them with you so you can also benefit from it. It's what I have been doing that has helped me get the life that I wanted, and I have also been able to share with the people that I have been assisting in individual sessions and boot camps, and they have found a great benefit as well. So this is my service to you as I share Emotional Cafe session every week. Healthy dependencies. Why I wanted to use this topic, why I wanted to use the term healthy dependencies. Simply because it's controversial. Many people will think that all dependencies are unhealthy, all dependencies are bad. And I wanted to share with you why I think there are some healthy dependencies that we should keep in our lives. But first, let's define what a dependency is. Dependency is usually meaning subordinated to something. It can be a person, it can be a thing, but something that it has a higher power than us. It happens when you can function without that thing or that person in your life to make you feel better. It implies the compulsive need of something or someone in order to ease the discomfort of not having that person or that thing in your life. That's usually the definition we can find on dependency. And yes, there can be healthy and unhealthy dependencies. We all have some sort of dependencies. That's something that is very common to all human beings. But I wanted to talk to you about healthy dependencies. But in order to do so, first we need to look at unhealthy dependencies. And on the group of unhealthy dependencies, I have three major categories. The first one, it's all addiction-related behavior or any kind of addiction in any way that it manifests itself. For instance, it can be to substances, and I mean legal and illegal substances, alcohol included, pills included, okay? But also the activities, the behavior part of addiction, those that are related to gambling or porn or sex or eating or shopping or working. So any kind of addiction goes in the group of unhealthy dependencies. Also, emotional dependencies, and here I refer to those related to other people, when we need those specific friends or this specific person in my life in order to feel better and in order to be happy. And when this person is not there, then I feel I'm suffering, I feel anxious, I feel I have a void. So that's when it comes to emotional dependencies. And also the relationship dependencies, which we all want to be in a relationship. It's a total normal desire that we have. But yet, when I'm talking about unhealthy dependencies, I am referring to those people that need to constantly be in a relationship in order not to have to be with themselves, with their own self. So they go from one relationship to the next, sometimes even within the first week or 2 weeks or the first month of breaking up the previous relationship, they immediately have to jump to another one in order not to have to deal with themselves. It's funny because sometimes these are the people that pretty much change the way they act and they behave, even the way they act and they walk and talk, depending on the person that they're with. So these are the group of unhealthy dependencies that I wanted to share with you. Again, any type of addiction, any type of emotional dependency, and any type of relationship dependency as well. Now, let's talk about healthy dependencies, which is what I wanted to bring to you today. Those are the ones that we develop towards people or things or activities that nurture us, that make us feel better about themselves. So listen again. Here I'm talking about people, things, and activities. But instead of having a pathological link to these things or people or activities, these are the ones that nurture us and make us feel better about ourselves. It's a link, relationship, some sort of connection that we develop towards these people or with these people and activities and things that are really healthy for us, because they help us, because they make us feel better about ourselves. Now, let's look at some examples. Let's look at healthy dependency to people. What do I mean? Well, I mean, we all have friends that they have become our support system. These are people that are there for us. These are people that we can rely on. These are people that want us to be happy and are constantly encouraging us to be better without judging us. These are great people that we can feel their support in our lives. So in this particular case, healthy dependency will be reflected by nurturing these friendships, by keeping these people in our lives and pretty much being there for them as well. So that's how the healthy dependency will be reflected when it comes to people. Now, when it comes to things, I'm talking about, for instance, sometimes we have books, sometimes we have audio, sometimes we have programs that we watch on TV that are really good for us. I can relate to that because I have been very open and honest about my struggle trying to lose some weight. And I remember watching a show that was about people losing weight, and it was a great show. I could see how people will lose so much weight that it was such an encouragement for me, and kept telling myself, if they can do it, I'm gonna be able to do it too. And this show, what I did was that I organized my agenda so I could be free for that specific time that they show the program. If I couldn't see it, I would record it and see it later. When it's a problem is when watching that particular program or any other program, you affect all the other areas of your life in order to just watch that. And that's when it becomes an unhealthy dependency. But in this case, it was something that helped, in my case, helped me, and therefore I just rearranged my schedule in order to be able to enjoy that program and benefit from it. Same thing happens with, for instance, let's say you have a car that you have bought with effort and you need it for transportation. That's fine. But when you think the car is defining you, or when you think that you are who you are because of the car you own, that's when we have a problem. But let's see, in these cases with things, healthy dependency will be reflected by taking good care of those things and having appropriate management and administration of such. So that's how we show that we have a healthy dependency. You need your car, you take good care of it, you check the oil, you check the water, you know, and this is the kind of things that you'll do in order to have the correct and appropriate management of that car. And that's what healthy dependency means. Same things with your books. You will be, you know, keeping them in a place that you can actually benefit from it, not only on a bookshelf, but also that you can open it and read it and go over it and nurture yourself from it. That's what it means. Now, when it comes to activities, let's see. I refer to exercising, yoga, practice meditation, relaxation, practicing sports, attending self-help groups. All these things are things that and activities that we have found, and at least myself, I have found in my recovery process that these were things that helped me a lot. And yet, knowing that they helped me, it was so hard to integrate them, incorporate them in my life. So in these cases, healthy dependency will be reflected by continuing with such practices and attendance to these activities or groups, because we fully understand the positive impact that they have in our lives. We understand that they help us feel better, and we learn to see them as a way to show love to ourselves. So I have a question for you. Why is it that we humans, we tend to stop doing or practicing those activities, those things that really work for us and that really have a positive impact in our lives? Have you ever think about this? Why is it that these things are good for us and yet we refuse to do it? And again, I can totally relate. If you ask me if I like jumping up on the treadmill every day, 60 minutes, until I'm so sweat that I can barely stand it, no. It's not what I would like to be doing, but it's good for me. And after I do it, I feel better about myself. Not only keeping me healthy, but it helps me feel better about my own image, about my own body, and it's a way that I'm showing love. So pretty much I force myself to do it, and it's just amazing how I feel afterwards. But that's the hardest part. Why is it that it's so hard for us when something is good for us to actually keep it in our lives? I have some recommendations for you, and it comes from that specific question that I was just asking, because it's amazing how sometimes when I have been assisting individuals, how they come to me and they are looking for a way to feel better, and when you look back in what they used to do, there were things that were making them feel better and they no longer are doing that. Why is it that we tend to just let go and let those things simply fall, and we don't follow on these practices that are so positive for us? My recommendations for you: identify these people, these things, these activities that are good for you. Identify them, go over them. Not everybody that is in your life might be that good for you. Not every friend that you have is really the supportive friend you need. So go over, make a whole inventory of your people, things, and activities, and identify those that are really, really positive for you. Clarify their positive impact in your life. Think about it. Go over the balance and think how you feel when you have given yourself the opportunity to attend a group, or to go to a study group, or to read a new book, or to practice a sport. What does it make you feel? Continuity is the key. This is the key word right here. Continuity, to nurture those relationships, to take care of those things, to practice these activities, regardless. Just be continuous. And as soon as you realize that you have stopped yourself from doing this, or from having this person interaction in your life, or attending this activity, or having this thing taken care of, as soon as you realize that you have stopped, ask yourself why, and go back to practicing them as soon as possible. Go back to doing what you used to do with those people or things or activities as soon as possible. July is the month of challenges, and the whole topic for the month is challenge. And I have some questions that I want to leave to you as my challenge this week for healthy dependencies. How committed are we on our own well-being? How committed are you in feeling good about yourself, in feeling great, in having a better life? How committed you feel you are? And how will you stop? How is it that we're going to stop ourselves from harming ourselves and stealing our own well-being, stealing our own happiness, avoiding ourselves from fulfilling and doing more? That's my challenge for you this week. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope to see you next week with another great session of Emotional Cafe. Thanks for having me. See you then.